Hey you guys, today I'm with this little hottie in here, Quinn Harrelson.
What's up?
With Interlink. He is a Auburn mortgage specialist. Doesn't that sound fancy? So last week I was at a social media conference and we were discussing a lot of different things, but one was where are these new latest buyers coming from? And they are going to be a lot of millennial buyers in the market hitting up soon, and I didn't say that wrong, so excuse me on that one. Having said that, Quinn is a millennial and he is a lender, and he kind of knows what the millennials are worried or concerned about, and that's what we're here to tell you about today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. Millennial to millennial here. So a lot of times when customers come into my office, millennials specifically, a lot of times what I'm seeing with millennials is they're looking for lower down payments and lower monthly payments. So when they sit down, I first ask them a lot of questions. I kind of figure out, what their situation is, and usually with millennials it comes down to lower monthly payments. So the first thing I always suggest and always ask about is down payment. Okay, how much cash do you have? Obviously, the more cash you put down, the more money or the less your payment will be. Preferably 20%. Now, do you have to have a 20% down payment? Absolutely not.
Everybody thinks that you do, so that's kind of a myth.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, you do not have to have 20% down. Now, if you can put 20% down, you don't have to pay what's called mortgage insurance, right? So if you put 20% down, you don't have to pay that. So obviously, if you don't have to pay it, that's going to lessen your payment. The second thing is, because a lot of people don't have 20% to put down. That's just a fact. Like most people just don't, right?
That's a lot of money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the second thing we look at, if you don't have 20% to put down, is we look at doing what's called lender-paid mortgage insurance. So lender-paid mortgage insurance is basically a way we can structure your mortgage loan to where you don't pay the mortgage insurance monthly. It's actually paid through your interest rate, right? So if let's say, for an example, that your interest rate for your current situation and credit score is at 5%, right? Well, you might take a 5.25 and not have to pay that mortgage insurance on a monthly basis, which is going to lower your overall payment.
All right, yeah.
And then another way that a lot of people don't think about, but it's really a great way, and it's always good to get with an agent and as well as your lender when you're up front at negotiations, and that is to ask the seller to pay discount points towards your buyer's interest rate.
Yeah, we don't think about that very much.
Not at all, and it's a great way. If closing costs are usually $4,000 to $5,000 in that ballpark, depending on the purchase price. So, for the seller to pay $4,000 to $5,000, that could lower your interest rate up to a half a point, right?
Yeah.
And if we talk about a half a point in interest rate, we're talking anywhere between $50 and $100 a month on payment. So those three things off the top of my mind are a great way to, lower your payment.
Question. How long is the process? Because it's freaking daunting. You need this, you need that, and but how long is it? Is it a pain in the butt for them to do?
That's a relative question.
It is.
Usually here at Interlink, our normal turn times are usually between 17 and 19 total days, right? Now, we have closed loans as soon as 8 days. Okay.
He's done one for me for 12.
So
12.
I think it was 11. 11, 12. Yes. But I do think it was 11. But anyway, so yeah, it just depends on your situation. If you are self-employed, if you do have other factors that causes more documentation, it can take a little longer or a little less. It just really depends.
And another thing that I love about working with Interlink, and especially Quinn, is he's local. So you local people can come down and sit and talk to him personally instead of over the phone with somebody that doesn't even know our area. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves is the I'm not even going to talk about it, but it is. It's always more helpful and beneficial, I feel, to work with somebody that's local.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Local is everything.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I don't pay Amy under the table for nothing, right? So
I don't even get a damn Starbucks card. Okay? Nothing. I don't get crap.
But yes, it is important to go local, right? We know the local appraisers. We know this market. And yes, you do get that personalized service. And if for whatever reason, if you happen to be a millennial that would rather do over the phone, or if you're busy, we can always do it online as well. So Quicken Loans is not the only person that can do it
That's
online.
a cuss word. Quicken Loans is a cuss word. Well, thank you for having us in your little fancy office today.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
One final question: are you single? You're not going to answer that, are you? Are you pleading the fifth on that one?
I cannot. Yeah, I can't answer that. Can't answer that.
Girls, call me, okay? I know his number. And on that note, remember, home is the nicest word there is. Peace out.